very good at any one.
Well, Coach, what's the turnout here to all the scouts and coaches mean to you in the program?
Well, I think this is, how we would like for it to be. We feel like when it comes to development of players to play football that a lot of guys really want the opportunity to play in the National Football League, and to get this kind of interest and representation from the league to give our players an opportunity is certainly what we'd like for each one of our players to have. So this is an exciting day. It's a sad day in a way because you have such great relationships with a lot of these players. You hate to see them leave, and you certainly do appreciate the great job that they've done in representing the program while they were here. But you're also extremely excited and happy for them to be able to have an opportunity to fulfill their dream of being able to play at the next level.
Coach, on days like today when there's a lot of pressure, how much more does it ease the high tense situation with the seasons and the way they perform during the regular season?
Well, I think that, what we try to get our guys here to do is, compete one play at a time, like it has a history and life of its own, and, do it for 60 minutes in every game that you play, trying to get the players to focus on what's happening right now. I always use the term, be where your feet are. Don't worry about what happened yesterday, don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, but do what you can do to affect what you're doing right now. And I think players that can do that can perform better in circumstances like this because they're focused on what they're doing rather than what the outcome's going to be or what somebody's going to think about it or what happened last week or what happened at the combine. So it's just a lesson in affecting what you can affect right now in terms of getting what you want in your future.
Coach, if you're asked by an NFL team about the health of Cyrus's knee, how would you respond?
I'm not a doctor, but Cyrus played every game here since he came back. Never missed any time. Never missed practice because of it. So if you look at history being the best indicator what the future's going to bring, he's been able to perform extremely well. So that's all I can go on is my experience with him, and it wouldn't be a concern for me because I've watched the guy perform after his injury very effectively.
Any conversations with him since the combine and those reports came out? Keeping him up and the experience?
I talked to all the guys today, but I still think that what everybody needs to focus on here is, first of all, I don't think that any medical information about a player should leak out, right? And I think you all need to be responsible to make sure you've got the right information, all right? Because a lot of the information you got is not correct, all right? So that's not good for the player, all right? And it's not good journalism on your part. So I think everybody needs to sort of understand all that. And the teams that we talk to, I can't find anybody that failed the guy on the physical. All right, so if you don't understand how people grade players in terms of NFL medical grades, it's not pass-fail. There's usually 5 categories that a guy falls in. And if you don't understand that, you shouldn't really be writing about it because he didn't really fail.
How big of an opportunity is this for guys that didn't go to the combine, like Denzel and John? In your past experience, seeing guys going on the edge?
Well, I think that it's great for those guys, and what really enhances it for them is the fact that there's a lot of people here to see the other guys who are a little more high-profile guys that did go to the combine, so they get the maximum amount of exposure because of some of their teammates, and that's something that really makes us happy for them because they've done such a great job for us.
Do you think Cyrus is the first round guy? You're not in the NFL now, but if you were, would you consider him?
Well, I think he's a first round guy, but what I don't have the opportunity to do being a coach here, right, is I can't compare him to every other guy in the draft. So that's what makes somebody a first round back. Where is your talent and ability relative to everyone else? And it's not just everyone else, it's your position. question. It's across the board, you know, who are the best players. Now, I don't have the opportunity to make that comparison, but in my opinion, he's a first-round draft pick.
Two more.
Coach, a thing like this is about measurables and teams will get all this. When you hear from teams about specific guys, what do they most want to know?
Well, I think if it's a coach, he wants to know how the guy performed. That was what I was always most interested in, is how a guy performed. I think for me as a coach, when I was in the NFL, measurables just told me that this guy's speed deficient, and if he's a corner, that's going to be a problem. So regardless of how he performs, I can't not take that into consideration. But I was always a production first guy as long as the guy had the measurables. The measurables never made the guy a player. Just because a guy had good measurables and he wasn't a very good player on the film, that never made him a player for me. But everybody does it a little different. And I think what we all search for when we evaluate players, because recruiting and evaluation of players for the NFL draft is not an exact science. But we oftentimes try to make it that way, and we use measurables as the scientific approach to try to come up with a formula that says if this guy can do this, on measurable things, that's going to make him a good player. But that's not always possible.
Have you had the opportunity to talk to Rolando McClain about his future at all?
No, I talked to Ro about a lot of things. You know, sometimes we talked about it when he did it, and he knows that when he's ready to talk about it again, which I think it's up to him to decide that he's welcome to come and talk to me, and I'd be happy to talk to him anytime about it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.